You know, technology has so vastly changed the world that we live in. And hunting is no different. There's been a lot of advancements there, and I look at what Garmin Xero has done to be able to range your animals or your targets out there and create a better accuracy, and their new site has really defined how to set it up to make it even better. This site is the most intuitive of the Garmin Xero sites as far as I'm concerned, because the setup process is totally different. You've got more mechanical options to be able to dial in pinpoint accuracy. You're able to tell it how fast your bow's shooting so it can help set and speed up some of the process. And the entire screen, it all built everything in together for me. So technologically, I'm shooting a phenomenal setup this year, but you always have to remember in bow hunting, and really in anything, you can have the highest technology in the world, but the human's still got to control his motions. He's still got to perform at that time of everything going down.
Let's join Wade in the field now as he goes out on a bow hunt with the new Garmin Xero A1i Pro in Central Texas, where he's returning to a stand that had a lot of action that morning.
So this is the field we set up in this morning. Most all the deer, I'd say 80% of the deer left going kind of back that way. So we're gonna go in along this 2-track that goes to that tallest tree right over there. That's where our stand is. And the plan or the hope is as the sun sets back this way, they'll come back out into that field in the same general area. We know there's gonna be deer coming from every direction, but that's gonna be where we're setting up at, and that's where we hope those ones we saw bedded down at. We're not gonna bust anything coming in this direction, and that's always something to keep in mind, is how you're getting in and out of your stand, is, you know, so you're not bumping those deer that you're hoping are gonna come by you. And I think this is about as good, easy, clean way to get into this stand. Can you see him there? He is smoked. He is smoked right there. What a cool hunt. You know, this morning was phenomenal. We got in here and we saw a lot of deer, and we saw a lot of deer tonight, and moving around and covering lots of ground, and it's just a matter of getting the right angle, getting everything to come into play for you, and that certainly did right there. I mean, that's a really nice Central Texas 8-point wide, cool times chocolate antlers. He's pushing everything else around, and we made a great shot on him. The cool thing about the Garmin Xero is you get data after you shoot. You know, we just shot a buck out there at 32 yards, and it tells us everything that was going on right there. And you can even project waypoints to your watch off of this. I mean, the data you get off of this is amazing. And I still go back to one of the coolest things ever is when we were in all the prototype early development of the original Xeros, when we would you know, work with the engineers. They would send us updates to our computer, and you'd plug in your site and update things that they added to it. And you still do it with this one too, but this is the latest generation Garmin Xero here, and you've got all kinds of extra mechanical adjustments. Everything is menu driven. I mean, it's so easy to set this up. The evolution has just been amazing to this technology as it's evolved since our first ones. And you know, the first one was mind-blowing to me, and now to sit here, you know, and that deer was out there, I didn't have to guess. I mean, there's nothing out there for me to, you know, a lot of guys will throw rocks out on the ground or whatever, but you know, here, I mean, when that deer finally got out there and gave me a broadside shot, I mean, we saw that deer this morning, the same buck. And when he finally got out there and he got turned, I had, you know, ultimate confidence because I had set this bow side up for everything. And I mean, I didn't even know how far the shot was. I knew he was in range for me, but by using everything that's built into this and the way it's set up for my particular bow and tuned to my particular bow, this bow's shooting right at 290 feet with the arrow set up that I have. I mean, all I had to do was range the deer, know that I was hitting the deer exactly where I wanted to, let it off, it dropped the pin, and the end result was perfect. This is the arrow. That's what you want to see there. I mean, That sucker is covered in blood, top to bottom right there. Total pass through. That's what you're looking for in those types of situations right there. We're shooting that Blackout MX6 micro diameter arrow, and I mean it flies, and it flies fast out of this. Wow, pretty crushing right there. We'll leave that right there. I think Clark just, I think I see his belly. Right there, I mean, that's 85 to 100 yards right there. That's about what I thought. I mean, he got hammered when we hit him. Oh yeah. Look at this guy right here. What a great 8-point. That's gonna be the exit right there. What a great 8-point right there. I love that. That is so cool. Gosh, there's nothing more fun and gratifying than making a good shot that kind of, I don't know, it validates all the practice. And man, bad things happen in bow hunting at times. I mean, you can practice and practice. I mean, I've hit them in places that just amaze me how fast they die, and I've hit them in places where it didn't. This one here was just a total pass through. He was running dead from the moment that arrow hit him. And that's just, I mean, to me, it's just so gratifying. When you pay attention to all the equipment in bow hunting, and there's different levels of budgets, different levels of gear that make sense for everybody, it really kind of helps pay out when you can match it all up and make it all work. And whether you've got the highest technological advancements in bow hunting or you're buying a package bow, you practice, you prepare for that moment, you stay within the realm and the capabilities of the equipment and yourself, and you'll have moments like these that are just phenomenal, that fill the freezer, make good memories and stories for everybody, and you go away satisfied. And this is one of those moments for sure.
When we return, we'll show you how fast it is to dial in your Garmin Xero A1i Pro bow sight. Let's see how easy it is to navigate through the Xero A1i Pro's menu for a quick and easy setup.
So the very first step in this new setup process is to get that 20-yard pin set. So we're gonna go and start that process. There's been a lot of UI changes or UI improvements. So here's some of those graphical displays of what we call the reticle. So if you're off of that reticle a little bit, really all you need to do is make those pitch and yaw adjustments to move that reticle into piece. But the sight itself is gonna walk us through each one of those pieces step by step. And there's a nice graphical display of it. So here our grouping's hitting a little bit low, and we're prompted in the sight itself is, did the arrow hit the bullseye? So we're gonna say no. And now it's actually giving us specific knobs to turn. So because we're in this initial setup, we're just gonna be, this first part of the setup, it's just moving the up and down and left and right. So it's asking us to adjust the up and down. So because we're low, we actually need to chase that arrow and drop our sight down just slightly. So here with the micro adjust, I can just kind of roll through and drop that down just a little bit. So again, it kind of stepped me through exactly telling me, which knob to turn there. So it gave me, specifically this top knob, and told me kind of to chase that arrow and drop the sight down. So now I'm at the point where I need to set back to that 20 yards and see if we come back up to where we need to be. All right, so that one hit dead center. So we're gonna go ahead and tell it that we hit the bullseye there. So at this point, we've got at least the standard left and right and up and down complete because we've set that 20-yard pin. To do the reticle alignment, we're gonna use what we call the pitch and the yaw. So there's gonna be two curved adjustments that we need to make here. One where we move the housing itself on a curved axis this way, and another one here where we actually pivot this way left and right. So to do that, it's actually projecting the reticle there in the housing itself. I'm gonna go ahead and knock an arrow and draw back and see where I'm at in the reticle. So again, that reticle is essentially a big circle out in space with a bunch of arrows pointing at it. All those arrows are little tools letting me know what direction I need to make this next movement to get that pin, the red pin, directly in the middle of that circle. All right, so the reticle, when I drew back the circle itself, my red dot is sitting right on just the bottom edge. I'm really close to being where I need to be there. So basically what I need to do is I need to use this adjustment here just to help swing that reticle right into place. So again, we can use those micro adjusts. I do need to loosen my set screw first. So when I draw back this time, that reticle should be basically that red dot. And what your goal here again is to get the red dot right in the middle of the green circle with those arrows on the outside all pointing right towards it. All right, whatever adjustment we made there is perfect. I'm gonna let down. All right. So again here, I can show you some screenshots that I've been discussing that really just help make that overall setup more easy. So here it's calling out the specific kind of angled left and right and up and down knobs that you need to adjust to get that reticle aligned. As we just walked through, we went through and the reticle is aligned after that one adjustment. So now we're gonna stand back to about 20 yards, this is where we're at. So since we did make one small adjustment there, we just want to make sure that we're still on at 20. There we go. So our adjustment on that last one was so small that we don't really need to go back and make anything else adjust there because our reticle's aligned and we confirm that that 20-yard pin is still on. So now we've got our 20-yard range set up. So we're actually going to go through and just use the bow speed. I've shot it through the chrono a few times this past month or so, so I know it's shooting right around that 280 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So it's prompting me for what's my arrow diameter. So if you're shooting skinnier arrows, I've got a standard diameter arrow here. All right, so now that I've gone through and I've entered in that bow speed, it's going to have me back up to 40 yards to validate that the calculated pin stack is accurate.
After firing off that final arrow, Brandon was able to confirm that the calculated pin stack was accurate and his Xero A1i Pro was ready to go. The latest generation of the Garmin Xero is once again changing the way avid archery hunters can hit the fields and remove any doubt when they put that reticle on their target. To get your hands on the Garmin Xero A1i Pro Edition, head on over to Garmin.com. Another revolutionary sight in the Garmin ecosystem is the Garmin Xero X1i Crossbow Scope.
You know, right now we're out here, we're doing some field testing and hunting with the Garmin Xero Crossbow setup. This setup right here from the Xero on the crossbow side, it's just, I mean, amazing what you can do with it. That's why I put my phone back here so I could record through it and actually show you, so you could see what we see to the best of our ability here with our little rig. But as you go deeper into this Xero, I mean, you've got your first things you're gonna do is look at your mechanicals here at setups. I mean, it's much like your traditional rifle scope with ups, downs, left, rights. You're gonna mount it on there. It's a rock solid mount. I mean, this thing's, you know, it's built from a tactical standpoint, if you ask for my opinion off of it. Then when you go inside this, the coolest thing about it is you're basically tailoring this to your exact crossbow, the speed of your crossbow. And they set up for your bolts, your arrows, and everything, what you've got. So when you know that, you can compute all that in, you go through the setup stages, and while you're sitting out here ranging, it's dropping pins exactly for what you're shooting at that time. And it takes out all the guesswork. It eliminates all the, you know, when you're looking at a lot of traditional crossbow scopes, and they're still, you know, those are deadly accurate. They're gonna work perfectly fine, but you've got a lot of clutter on there all the time. With this, boom, once you get locked onto your target, your you're confident in your range. You've got one aiming point, so it's going to help with precision shooting all the way around. We can't get, this piece of equipment, the Crossbow in the Garmin Xero sight, it can't control your emotions. It can't calm you down when a doe's out there to fill the freezer, a spike for your first buck, or a giant trophy buck. It can't fix those problems. It can't overcome buck fever. But if you can control your emotions and you do everything right, you've basically got setups with this type of technology that allows you to make a clean, ethical kill. I truly believe this. Every time you pull the trigger, if you don't hit a stick or you don't make a mistake, your precision shooting, if you spent the time setting this up the right way, it goes to an all new level. There's simply nothing like it out there that I have seen that allows you to freehand shoot with shoot off sticks, whatever the shot requires within the range and the capabilities of your skills and the crossbow that you're shooting. I mean, that Xero takes it to an all new level for you. And we've tried to bring a lot of this content to you so you can see it, so you can really dive into it and digest all the data on there. Some of you are going to want all the data, some of you are not going to want as much data on there, but it is simply amazing technology.
We're joining Wade now on a hunt when he first field tested the Garmin Xero X1i crossbow scope.
We're gonna climb way up in a tree. I mean, we're really high in this tree, 22, 23 feet up. Now I'm hunting with a crossbow, so I gotta get them out there in a pretty good close-up area. The crossbow I'm hunting with is a 10-point Vapor with a Garmin Xero scope on there. It's very dynamic, it's very easy to use, and it's deadly accurate. I mean, you've got a menu-driven system that allows you to set it up to whatever bow speed that you're shooting, whether you're shooting a slow one or fast one. But then once you get it all mounted and dialed in, you can adjust the colors of the reticle, whatever you're looking at doing, and the data screen that's available there and what it tells you and how to assist you in hunting. I mean, it puts you in a position to really have an ethical, clean harvest every time you pull the trigger.
Sitting here watching and waiting. Smoked him. Perfect shot right there. I mean, absolutely perfect.
I mean, that is a fantastic testament to field testing 101 right there. Getting out in the field, trying this new Garmin Xero crossbow scope and all the features on it and showing you everything that it does. We've got it rigged on the Vapor right here from 10-point. And this is a combination that it is the best combination you possibly could find if you were a crossbow hunter. There is no question in my mind. I've crossbow hunted for over 15 years now, and I've never seen a combination with this much energy, this much speed, this much accuracy, and you tap all that into the precision shooting you can do with this to know exactly where you're aiming every time. You have a Garmin 10-point combination that is going to be lights out.
If you have any questions about any of the products featured in this episode, shoot us an email at info@deergeartv.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.